what to expect at motorcycle school. What's up guys, it's Felix from Giant Lifestyle, and in today's video I'm going to be explaining to you guys what you can expect at motorcycle school. So just this past weekend I went to motorcycle school. It is a 3-day event and I got the certificate to get my motorcycle license. So after I make this video, I'm going to head down to the DMV and get my motorcycle license, and then come next weekend I'm going to go out and buy a motorcycle. Now in this video I want to explain to you what you can expect, because I really had no idea what to expect going into it. Would I be riding on the course? Would I be riding on the street? What would I be doing? And in this video I'm going to be breaking it down in review. So number one is, know that this is subject to change depending on where you live. If you live in California, Florida, Texas, North Dakota, Maine, Maryland, Delaware, it could be different, but I believe this is what they're doing for the motorcycle part of, being a driver. When you go to the DMV, instead of taking any test or skills test there, they basically put it into a 3-day weekend event where they teach you some skills, they teach you some knowledge about it, and then they put it all together, and if you pass you get your certificate to take it to the DMV and get your license. So the first thing that I had to do was I had to go on this website and pay for it. It was between $350 and $400, and I bought it about 7 or 8 weeks ago, and literally I was supposedly the last one in the course. A lot of people were backed up into it and they were having no spots left, and they were running these things all summer long. In my class for the 3-day event, it was 10 people, but at the same time that I had my class, there were multiple classes running. So at the same time I was doing my skills test on the course, there were other classes doing more skills tests. So just that weekend I probably seen about 50 people or so going for their motorcycle license. So once you pay for it, before the weekend starts and before you can actually go to the class, you must take an E-class. So the E-class ranges between maybe 2.5 to 4 hours. It's pretty easy. It's just a computer module talking to you about different scenarios and different lessons, and then after every 10 to 25 minutes of lessons it gives you a quiz. But the quiz is super simple. It's not like if you get it wrong you can't repeat it. I was basically just listening to it in the back of my head, and then as the test rolled around I would pass the test. So it's pretty simple, but it does take about 3 hours, and of course I did leave it till the last minute, which kind of took me some time. But that was that was the E-class that you take prior to actually going to the 3-day event. So the 3-day course was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday was from 5 to 9, Saturday was from 7 to 5, and Sunday was from 7 to 2. And you have to be there promptly at 7. So it's really important that you be there promptly. Now, I also forgot, I have a little book right here that I'm just writing some things down. You also need gear. You do not need to wear the gear on the first day, which is basically just learning in the classroom. You need long sleeves, you need jeans, you need eye protection, and you need gloves. So you basically can't have any skin exposed for the 2 days that you're actually riding on the course. Now Friday was pretty easy. We basically just answered a bunch of questions, did some scenarios, draw it out like a few situations, basically talking about the motorcycle. I've always wanted a motorcycle. I always thought it was very cool, and it's something now that I have a YouTube channel I'm very excited to make YouTube videos for. The only thing is, it's not so much us as motorcyclists, it's more this other people who are in full-fledged vehicles. So we learned a lot about how to avoid situations like that, and what happens, because there's a lot of things going on, and you're basically like a one-man band. You don't have this big body chassis like this car that if someone were to smack into me, the body of the car would protect me. There is no body of a motorcycle. It's just you and a little metal frame. So after Friday was over, we came back Saturday, and we did from 7 to about 2 o'clock. We did about 9 exercises. Now they start you off explaining all parts of the bike, where the ignition is, where the clutch is, where the shift is, all that part, and then you actually get on the bike. You do some some rocking motions to make sure to feel the throttle out and to see how it feels, and then you actually start doing it. I never drove a clutch before. I never rode on a motorcycle before. My only experience with something like that was with a motored scooter back when I was 12 or 13. I had a motored scooter that would go like 20-25 miles an hour, but it was simply just the throttle. There was no clutch to make it go. And I do like the idea of a clutch. I feel like that you can really turn up the speed with a clutch, but I also wonder, would it be possible to have automatic motorcycles? I personally don't know. So after Saturday, we did the nine drills in the field. Then we went back in the classroom. Now this part, being in the classroom again, I haven't been in school in years. I hated school. I dropped out of college. It felt like I'm back in school. And I was even saying this to my buddy who was in the class as well, that I feel like this class is good, but at the same time it psychs you out. The real thing that you need, the real practice, the real course that happens now is after you get your license and you go on the road. And that's where you really practice. Even with the skills test that we were doing, the instructors were, kind of taking it too serious in a sense. And I know it's serious, it's people's lives on the line, but at the same time, being in a controlled environment on a mini crash course, there's so much room for error. So it's not like I feel like there's more room for error in a crash course than there would be in the real world on the street. So it was good. And then after we did 9 things of driving, which is gonna make you extremely tired. I never thought how tired being in the sun and driving a bike all day would make me. Everybody in the second classroom session was basically sleeping. So after that, we did a written test, and that's what made me feel like we were back in school. So I passed that, even though I was in the position, if the instructors tried to get funny, then I was gonna say, hey man, here's $50, pass me, don't fail me. I paid $350 for this. I'm taking time out of my weekend. I'm gonna come. I came yesterday, I came today, I'm gonna come tomorrow at 7 o'clock. If I were to fail, it's gonna slide the instructor $50 and pass me, but that was just worst case scenario. So after we took the written test, we passed, and then we came back for a one final day, which was Sunday, which was yesterday, for a skills test. So yesterday we did about 6 more exercises. Some of the exercises include weaving. Some of the exercises include U-turns, figure eights. Some of them include short stops, all types of things like that. Some of them, include, shifting from second to first to second, stuff like that. So we did that, and then we took a skills test. And be honest, the skills test was so easy. The skills test was easier than all the 14 drills that we did between Saturday and Sunday. And really, what I found to be my biggest, thing was just moving all the controls, because you got the throttle, you got the brake, you got the clutch, you got the foot brake, and you got the other clutch lever by your left foot. So learning to maneuver all those pieces at the same time was basically the biggest hurdle for me. But I know, and I could see it in my head, that once I know how to do it, it'll be like riding a bike. It'll be literally no different. When you get on a bike, you don't even have to think about it. Even those mountain bikes that have a lot of gears, you can move them with no problem. So it's just about building up that muscle memory to make it pretty much easier. So after we took, on Sunday, what we did is we did 5-6 more skills, and then we took the skills test. The skills test was really easy. The only stipulations to it was you couldn't drop the bike, and my business partner actually got excused from the course because he fell off the bike. If you fall off the bike, if you crash, if you do anything out of line, I guess texting or cutting people off, you can't cut people off during the course, you will get excused. So he fell off the bike, and I actually just spoke to him. He said that he's done. He's like, I can't even walk. So he fell off the bike, probably going 10-15 miles an hour twice, and he said it really bruised him up. So you cannot fall off the bike too many times during the course, and if you fall off the bike during the test, you will fail. But I think that both with the written test and the skills test, they kind of just psych you out. I think they're going to pass you from what I've seen. I think, because the instructor was ripping on me the whole time that I wasn't doing short stops right, but he's like, I don't know how you passed this one. So I think they all pass you, because in the end, that skills test really doesn't show value if you're a good driver or not. So after that, like I said, we did the skills test. It was 5 exercises. The exercises were like literally the easiest thing. It probably took a half hour. And then we went back to, you know, where we met, because between every 2 exercises you get a break. And then from there, he basically just gave us some advice, where to get insurance, stuff like that. And you know, it's really cool how cheap a motorcycle really is. Like a brand new motorcycle is like maximum 15 grand. You can get a used motorcycle for $3,000 to $5,000. If you finance it, you can literally make payments of $150 a month, which is really dirt cheap. But you know, that's really what it is. I think that the course is good. I do like it that it's a 3-day event, but it is a long event. It's 4 hours on Friday, it's about 8 hours on Saturday, and just say it's another 8 hours on Sunday. So it is about 20 total hours between classroom and the actual driving skills. But I feel like it kind of just fakes you out, because it gives you so much at once, but at the same time it doesn't give you enough room to do all that. It gives you a little crash course. So you know, I got to shift from first to second gear, and then it doesn't give you. I'm excited to see how I do once I get on the road. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to get on the road and jump right on the turnpike, which is a big state highway in New Jersey, but I am saying that I'm going to take it around my block and, you know, just feel it out, see how I do shifting up and down. But it's really not that hard. It's all muscle memory, and you know, it's just important to, you know, have some, you know, basic, you know, knowledge and safety techniques in the back of your head, and at the same time having fun, man. That's what this is all about. So I'm really excited. I will show you guys the bike I get. I'm going to pick up the license now, and that's all I have for you guys. So if you guys are looking to do it, I would highly suggest it. It's really easy, even if you literally never rode a motorcycle before. I have no motorcycle experience, but I'm excited to get my motorcycle, and I'm excited to make some content. I have this little can't find it right here. I have this little GoPro, so I'm going to put this on the front of my helmet and see what kind of cool content I can create. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video, give me a like. It really helps my channel out. And if you want to check out any of my other videos where I talk about business success, personal development, and creating a giant lifestyle for yourself, then make sure to check out my other videos and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.